Okay, with Yuri Williams, Hope for the Holidays is the feature film. Played the documentary Feedback Film Festival. Interesting film. So you co-directed it with Nathan. Curious, how did this film come about? Because you're also like part of the film as well, right? So not only
Yeah.
did you directed it, but you're also kind of like the quote unquote star of the film, right?
Yes. It took place in 2022. And how this happened was I lost my mom to a 8-year bout of cancer. I fell into like a depression. I met Rodney Smith Jr. probably 5 years after that. And we went on a 50 state tour, I believe in 2017 was our first one. 2018, then 2021, 2022 is the one that you saw. And we also did one in 2023, which would have made 5 tours around all 50 states. And that's really how this adventure began. And, I had reached out to Nate to ask him to, could you come along and film? And he quit his job and took 25 long days with us. And we created this film. And, the rest is history.
So how does it? The first question I have is that obviously there's got to be some money involved. The logistical
Yeah.
question to do all these amazing things for these amazing people. How does that come about? What's the is there like you have a funder? Like how does that happen?
Yeah, we started GoFundMe from the first tour, and Rodney has a big following, not as big as mine, but we use our family members, followers that we call family members, but we asked them for donations, and ever since we began this first tour, we haven't had really, you know, much, not many problems of people donating because they see what we're trying to do. So we're just trying to uplift humanity, and people love it every year once we get together.
So this is obviously this film is also kind of used as a kind of an advertising for what you guys do, I guess too, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like it's a feature film. It shows you like it shows people that the whole kind of journey of what takes place. And you're like you said, you're like you co-directed, you're the star. So you're gonna keep doing this year after year.
Yeah, as long as I know this year has been kind of rough on the nonprofit, but we're going to try to, keep showing this film around and hopefully get enough donations to, be able to do this venture every year because it's a much needed venture. A lot of these families, we couldn't show all of them because it's so much footage, but a lot of these families don't get a chance to leave their houses because of, some of the conditions that their children have. So we bring the joy to them.
So what was the first year that you did it?
2017.
2017. And then so then you did it this was the sixth year or seventh year that you did it when you guys filmed?
That would have been the fourth year.
Oh, so you didn't do it every year, I guess.
No, no, COVID was in between those two
Oh,
years.
yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So we had to, stop for that. But every year before in the middle of that, that we did it. And the last one was 2023 last year.
And you're gonna do it this year as well?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully, like I said, we get some kind of sponsor. We just need 2 plane tickets to Alaska, Hawaii, gas, and then money for toys
Yeah.
and hotel. So that's basically all of the travels. It's about say about 40 to 50,000, that we spend for the whole tour or whatnot. But I mean, it's not about the money with me or Rodney. It's about impacting these children and families for that day or whatever it may be.
So where do you guys stay? You guys just stay at like a regular hotel as when you do
Yeah,
this?
yeah. We just we get up early in the morning, like 7, drive until nighttime. We try to do 1 or 2 families per state, and then we'll go to sleep for 5 or 6 hours, and it's time to get up again. So this is like a 25-day venture around all 50 states.
Around all 50 states. So that's still pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
Like, because you said you like in the film you started in Kentucky,
Hmm.
which like it depends where you are in Kentucky, but because you can go up I guess you can go up to Ohio, or you can go left, right, you can go to Indianapolis. Like that seems like that's such an interesting place to start because there's like 5 states around it, I guess, right?
Yeah. So we start like towards Kentucky and then head back to Tennessee,
Okay.
Alabama, and all, towards the West Coast, and then we go up and then come back across to the East Coast because the East Coast has a lot of states that are connected. So and once we make it to the East Coast, then we could do like 3 to 4 states, a day.
But like,
Whereas,
we also have to that we have to figure strategically. So meaning that you're not going
yeah,
to go down to Miami,
no,
right?
I mean, if we have to, we will. The furthest we went is way down at the bottom was Miami. Yeah.
Oh, you did go to Miami.
Yeah, that was the last. That was Tallahassee. We went to Tallahassee and Miami, so that was the last before you went to Alaska and Hawaii.
Gotcha. And then, but do you really have to go to Hawaii? Like, is that like?
Yeah, I mean to finish the tour, we have to, So I mean, we have footage of every state that we visited, so people can't say that we weren't there because we went to every one, and 5 times. I have been there 5 times. And Rodney's been there. I think this is 17th time around all 50 states.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So can you rate the states? No, I'm kidding. But basically,
Yeah.
but
I could. I mean, like my favorite states, yeah, I could.
what's your favorite state?
Uh, you know, I would probably say like Utah, Denver is really clean. New Mexico is in there, Hawaii's in the top five. Of course, Los Angeles because that's where I'm from. But I love Hawaii because it's just like a relaxation place for me. But Rodney doesn't like Hawaii. We get there and he's ready to go already because he's from Bermuda, so he doesn't like, the water and all that type of stuff. But I love hearing the ocean and all that type of stuff. Hawaii is in my top five though.
Oh, because he's from Bermuda, so
Yeah,
he's lived that. So basically, he doesn't
yeah.
want to go do that anymore.
No, he doesn't like it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, you got some amazing footage. So in terms of the filmmaking itself, obviously there's a structure in place because
Yeah.
you're going to all 50 states. So there's a storytelling in that kind of concept. And then you're going to interview people, interview yourself, interview Rodney, um, as your journey. So there is a good structure there. But that said, I'm assuming you had tons of footage
Oh yeah.
that you had to kind of figure out how to make 90 minutes, turn into
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Yeah. I believe it was an hour and 30 minutes that we tried to jam, and that was just 11 states. So we couldn't, it's impossible to jam all of them together because it probably, it wouldn't flow as good. And then, you lose people's attention. So we just tried to shorten it to 11 and possibly try to turn this into like a docu-series if that would probably be a better than actual film.
It's funny. That's what I have in my notes. This would be a great television show. But I guess you've
Yeah.
already thought of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's the venture. We went through the movie film festival structure, and I came up with the thing that it'll be better as a docu-series, I would think.
Yeah, 100%. It's because but there's a story, 50 episode arc, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we broke it down to 8 episodes, so it'll probably be like 5 to 6 states per
Yeah.
episode to make it, people sit down and really understand the process of how, we start from this state and go to the next and on to the end.
So this started the origin story was your mother, and then what this because that just inspired you to what inspired you with your mother's passing?
I was like I said, I was in like a 5 year depression period, and I remember returning to work one day after my coworkers donated like 400 hours of me to get myself back together because they know my mom because she would always call in, and she was a probation officer in LA County. I work in Orange County, and she would always call in and check on me and all this stuff, and they knew how close me and my mother were, so they gave me this time off. So the first day I got back, I was I got there and I just called her like I usually do, early in the morning before I start at 6. So I called her like 5:55 or something, to wake her up. And her phone is ringing and ringing and it goes to voicemail. And then that's when it just hit me like, she's gone already. And I sat there, I called a job like give me an hour to get myself back together. Uh, for some strange reason I picked the phone up and I created an Instagram account and Officer Tommy Norman popped up. I started following him. I like what he was doing. Great officer in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Me and him became close friends, and I happened to see Rodney going to visit him because he was mowing lawns across all 50 states. So, I saw him and I told Rodney, when you come to LA, I want to sit down with you and talk to you. I told him about the depression I was going through, and I said I like what he was doing. And, I had a nonprofit at the time where I was serving the houseless and children and dressing up and, doing like you saw in the movie.
Yeah.
I told him, like, I want to go on this 50-state tour with you just so I could clear my mind, And ever since I took that journey with him, that first tour, I haven't been depressed since. And then that's when I realized this is,
Lost you there for a second.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's amazing. So okay, so your origin story is that you said you work in correction. So you must have seen a lot of, pardon my French, seen a lot of shit, right?
yeah,
And a
yeah,
lot of like a lot of unfairness of people like lost in the system. So that must have that must be that's part of you who you are,
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
that being that influence all the time. So that must also influence you to do what you're doing now.
Yeah, I come from South Central LA and I've seen there's nothing that I haven't seen, and a lot of these kids have gone through what I've been through and seen, so I can relate to some of the things that they go through, and it's easy for me to communicate with them because, I can tell them about the stories and we have similar stories, so they don't, feel like they are ashamed. They'll be able to talk to me, and I haven't had any problems really since I've been working for probation because I can relate to some of these kids and they trust me and I trust some of the stuff that they say. So that's how I build a relationship with people in general. So, that's it's not a problem or I haven't had any problems at my job for the
But this
25
is what
years.
your mom did as well.
Yes, she was a correction officer, then she went on promoted to probation officer for 30 years.
So this
So I
is like
actually
almost a family business in a sense.
yeah, but the funny thing is when I was 8, I used to go to work with her at juvenile hall when she couldn't find a babysitter because she didn't trust a lot of people, So I would go with her, and that's where I got my first toy that I saw was Spider-Man, and I fell in love with Spider-Man and started collecting comics and cards and all that stuff, and that's how this costume thing, started to come into play. So when I first started this venture, I would go to Skid Row, which is the homeless capital of the world, possibly, put these costumes on and the first thing you do, the people see it and they smile and laugh and then that's like a distraction and I'm able to come and see what the problem is and plenty of times I've gone there without the costume and they get mad because it brings them back to their childhood, but I also have gained the trust from all of these people over the years by doing that.
So in a sense, like this, you're kind of doing these micro causes, of course, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meaning that like you're helping these people out holidays. It's inspirational. It's amazing. But at the same time, like the holidays are over, these people go back to their lives, I guess, right? So
Right.
how do we I know it's an impossible question to answer, but how do we make things better for the people that you're supporting?
I mean, like communication is the first thing, don't just ignore people. I say this all the time. You don't have to always monetary, give things to people in order to build relationships. You build relationships by speaking to people and opening the door, saying hello to somebody. You never know that hello or something could open up a conversation to where if this person is about to kill themselves, and thanks to you speaking to them that day, you stopped them from committing suicide. And that has happened to me several times. And I always tell people if you're upset or you're not feeling good or something, just always look people in the eye to speak to them and say hello or any type of interaction to just get somebody to say something to you and build a relationship. That's been always something my mom taught me all the time.
It's pretty great advice because if you think about it, like homeless people, that's what happens. They're just sitting on, say they're sitting on a corner in an urban area, people just ignore them. Nobody talks to them for hours, right?
Right.
They must see thousands of people walk by them and nobody says a word to them.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like I've been doing this for years, and you have your doctors out there that are homeless, your teachers, all these people that used to be businessmen and all this type of stuff, and they just happen to fall on some kind of, bad cause or something. Like I lost my mom and I fell into that depression. So I know how that feels, You lose your job or you fall into this depression and you can't get out of it, but you need somebody to talk to, whereas some people don't.
Well, mean, this is kind of a corny question, but is your mom proud of you now for what you're doing?
Yeah, I really think she is, man. And believe it or not, I think she always sends these signs of bees. That's a funny story. I used to ignore bees like landing on the car all the time, and it seems like every time that I do something or before I do something, a bee will land on my car or somewhere where I am in the vicinity. One day it was just raining, like pouring down, raining hard, and a bee came on my daughter's side of her window and just was just sitting there in the pouring hard rain. And I just look at that as a sign from her, just to keep going. And she used to always tell me, be good. And I've noticed I always say that to people after I leave their homes or a hospital. And I tell my daughter that, and I think I got that from her. And that might be the bee that she used to always tell me to be good. And, she's
Mhm.
sending that to me down here to let me know that I'm doing the right thing.
But as a parent, you just mentioned that you're a parent. You want your mom wants you to move forward, right? So, like God forbid something happens to you, you don't want your daughter mourning you for 5 years. You want your daughter to move forward, I guess, right?
Right. Absolutely right.
So that's the irony is that. But listen, yeah, I can totally understand. So the film, it's a really nicely edited film. So were you part of the editing process? Like, how was that? How did that all come together?
Nate is I call him Nate Flicks. He's a mastermind. He's
Netflix.
he's really good with that camera, and he's really like hard on himself. And I have to, tell him at times. I've watched that film probably since the other day 68 different times just to critique and everything put in there to
Yeah.
help him just put the thing together. But he did all of the filming on his own. He took like 3 or 4 different cameras with him, and he would set them up real quick, before the door entry or inside the home. And you would think that it was a couple people, filming this, and it was just one person doing all this. And Nate is very good at what he does.
Yeah, you also made it like you said, like it's very fast editing. It's like you can when you structure it. When I watched the second time, you can see there's a certain structure that he's doing. He's like it's really nicely. It's a professional job. It's a
Yeah,
professionally made film. So
yeah. And this is his first film, actual film, as he used to record for public speakers, So this is his actual first film, and I've helped him along the way. I'll say I'm the creative director, and like I said, I've watched it 68 times
yeah.
completely, and I appreciate his work.
So we send the audience to you. What did you think about the audience from our festival and the feedback video that we sent you?
Oh, that was good. That was perfect. That's exactly what I want people to see. I want to get people's feedback just so we can improve if there's any improvements that are needed before we decide to go on to the next venture with it.
And you behind your shoulders, you have I see Michael Strahan. Who's
Yeah,
the guy in the middle?
that's me.
That's you in The Rock. So this is a picture that you took a picture with The Rock and Michael Dwayne Johnson, I should say, and Michael
Yeah.
Strahan.
Yeah, they surprised me on Good Morning America. You could check out the video on my website, futuresuperhero.org, and they flew me out there, and I thought I was going to interview with Superman's son, and these two ended up surprising me at a diner and walking me over to Good Morning America.
The two of them.
Yeah, yeah,
So how are like were they like I'm assuming they're good people. I guess they
yeah,
believe in their cause.
yeah. No, genuine, two genuine guys. We talked after after the segment for a little while as well. So they're two down to earth guys. I could say that.
Yeah, I enjoyed The Rock on he turned heel on WWE a couple
Yeah,
months ago. He was
yeah,
very entertaining.
yeah. No, he's a good dude.
It was good. It was good to see him as the bad guy finally.
Yeah, yeah. We need some change.
Yeah, but that happened like kind of organically. So
Right.
basically, the people turned against him, right? So I like that. And then Strahan, New York Giants, of course,
Yeah.
legend, and now he kind of transitioned. So do these guys help you fund the project or?
Well, Dwayne bought out the movie theater, was for like 400 or 500 people out here in Long Beach. So, I got to invite the houseless community, children with disabilities, special needs, and all of the people that I service. So I got, a chance to take them on a movie night, whereas one of the ladies told me she hadn't been to the movies in like 10 years because, she couldn't afford it with her kids. So
Yeah,
that was like a special day for me to be able to be with 400 or 500 people that I service.
that's amazing. Yeah, so yeah, they're doing this is like I said, this is a great series. Like could get yourself in the right doors, get yourself talk to the right people. This is a I know you like eight episodes, but I like 50 episodes.
50, yeah. One at a
One for every state, because there's like that's the great thing. I'm a Canadian, so but the one thing about the states is that every state has its own identity. Even even Rhode Island,
right,
even
right,
Delaware, like
right.
they have their own identity. They're their own separate beings in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and it's an interesting time, right? Like we live in without getting too political, but basically we like, you know what I mean? Like stories like this are needed. There's so much negativity in the world.
Right. Like, and I've been involved in negativity because of where I, grew up and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't wish that on anyone. So this is why I decided to be this positive role model to anybody that I meet and come in contact with, and hopefully impact anyone that I meet as well.
So like I have one last question for you. You what do you do the job that you do? How do you not get jaded? How does because you can get so caught in the system, you can see that there's no improvement. How does someone not get jaded like yourself who does the job that you do?
Like I'll just focus on what I can do and, not worry about the politics and politics that are involved, but I just do what I can and know that what I'm capable of doing in order to impact these kids and hopefully get an understanding through their brain that you only die once and you need to take advantage of the opportunities that are given now, because a lot of these kids that I watch over, they have so many opportunities, free schooling, and it's a kid going to college on a scholarship soon. And, back in the day, you possibly couldn't get that. So so many different opportunities that these kids have that I didn't have or you didn't have, and they have now,
Mhm.
so they need to take advantage of it. And I stay on these kids, and, I only have 2 more years employed there. And then, I just want to keep venturing on with my nonprofit and, impacting the community and doing what I do and know and use what I use and know, do the work that I do. So
Yeah.
that's all I really.
Well, it's a great film. I wish it the ultimate best, whatever we can do to help. We're honored to show it at our festival. And like I said, like if there is like get in the right doors, ask the Rock to
I
get you
am.
to go. He's got a production company. Come
Oh,
on.
yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna get it all packaged together and I'm gonna
Yeah.
send it to one of his assistants and, praying that somebody
Yeah.
will.
Brian Gerwitz, that's the guy you talk to. It's his lead creative soul, Brian Gerwitz.
What's the last name?
Gerwitz. So I think it's Gerwitz.
Ryan. Okay.
He's the guy who he basically does all his like creative opportunities.
Okay.
He's the guy to talk to. Get in the room with that guy.
Okay. Thank you for that assist. Okay.
All right, man. Well, like I said, congratulations on the film and keep making it. Maybe I'm assuming that you're doing this year, whatever we could do to help. Let me know when you guys are going back on the road and to do what you're doing.
Okay. And hopefully I can get over to Canada. That's my next goal is to go international and start visiting other
Go to
countries.
Buffalo. I'm from Niagara Falls, so go to Buffalo and then you can go. You just hop over to Niagara Falls when you're there.
Okay. Okay.
You've been to Niagara Falls?
No, no.
Oh, you got to check it out.
And Canada?
Or both. You can go to Niagara Falls, New York, and Niagara Falls, but Canada's
Oh
got
yeah.
the
Oh,
better
you're talking
view.
about New York? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
we've been all over that area.
but
So
Canada's got the better view. Go to Canada.
Canada. Okay.
All right, man. Have a good one. I appreciate your
All
time.
right, buddy. Thank you again.